Alright, that's 4.
5.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Shining bright red as always, it is I, Red Luster, and Max in the playground 2.
Hello.
I don't know if you guys remember this game. It's been a while since we played the original, but this is the game where you went and fixed the playground, and there was like this one kid who's like, "I like chocolate," and he ripped your eyes out.
I wonder what he's gonna do this time.
Hammer.
PNG.
Hammer.png. How do I...
How we fix?
I guess I need to go things in a certain order?
Maybe.
More JPEGs.
Oh.
Oh.
Hammer noises.
Tap, tap, tap.
Whoa!
Yay!
Whoa.
And now this one. I can't remember the last time I went to a playground.
Neither can I.
Whoa!
Which is really sad, because I remember the... Oh, why is the sky
Oh,
dark
is it?
maroon?
Maybe it's getting late.
I used to remember going to a playground not that far from here all the time. It was quite the playground that I remember it. It had all sorts of stuff. You had slides, stairs, jungle gyms. There was a bunch of these really cool turtle statues all over the place too that you could, you know, just kind of sit on. I used to remember they were so tall that I was like, I can climb this thing. My friend's like, you shouldn't do that, it's not safe. And then I nearly broke my hip.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you know, since they're entirely made of stone, falling on them hurts.
That makes sense.
I learned from SpongeBob, if you fall from a great height, try to land on your butt. That's how I almost broke my hips.
Who's that? Is that the weird kid? His head's on backwards.
Yeah. That or they're balding in the back of their head. I love broken things. Don't think of fixing them. Is that clear?
Why?
Why? Uh-oh.
Oh. He's evil.
To be continued. End of first part of the game.
But
Yeah, this game has 2 parts, and this is just the first part. Also, wow, really? That's just how this is gonna end? Oh, and hitting escape closes the game immediately. Well, sorry folks, you're gonna have to wait like 1 second as I open up the second part.
oh, okay, you download the second part.
Yes, Max, I had that preemptively ready because, if I remember correctly, itch.io page is like, this is a 2-part game, you're gonna need both parts.
Well, I didn't know the second part was already out.
Hello, kid. Game capture. Second part. There we go. Audience has his eyes back. Now I gotta give Max his eyes back.
Thank you.
Alright, give Max his eyes back.
Yeah.
Kid, now you and me are going to play a little game. Okay. I'll chase you until you find... Oh,
Oh,
you didn't make it. I guess I took too long. Oh, okay.
he said something about shrinking us?
Oh yeah, he shrunk us. We need to find 5, what do you say, statues?
Yeah, all it says is 5 items.
Okay, it's there, Oh! Hey! Okay, you are also shrunken.
Why? Why did you shrink yourself, kid?
Mini murderer, mini murderer.
Still behind us? Oh, yep.
Yeah, he's a little bit slower than us, which is good.
I'm pretty sure he's a kid, so... Yeah,
I mean, he shrunk us.
that too.
Oh, he teleports!
Oh,
Alright, that's 4.
5.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Win
Win
ending.
Hooray.
Oh, okay. Let's do that one more time and just see what happens if he just stabs us.
I guess that's the lose ending.
Yeah, I mean, well, we died in the middle of a cutscene last time, so we didn't really get to see it. Did that game respawn? Oh, hi.
Okay, that's literally just death ending.
That was the whole game!
Alright.
2 parts, and you couldn't even make the game longer than 5 minutes.
I guess not.
I really hope this is just an elaborate troll. I get that the first game wasn't much either, but why'd you make this 2 parts? Why didn't you just put this all in one game? That was... Why?
Yeah, it's kind of confusing.
I mean... I get that more happens in this one than the first part, but the first part had so little happening in it that, like, you could have just easily just tacked this on top. And then there's this guy who's slower than I am, so not a threat in any capacity unless I stop and pick my nose. And honestly, if you can't pick your nose and walk at the same time, that's just a skill issue.
Okay.
But... And I like how you made him teleport to catch up with the player and, you know, catch him off guard, but...
Kind of useless when he's slow as hell.
Yeah, and then it's just... This MP3 of a guy screaming as hard as possible into his microphone and then, like, bit crunching it.
Not to just say, he also says his lines when you click again.
Which now begs the question, why didn't everything else just have voice acting?
Since there was only one person with voice act, with lines.
Yeah. Man, I don't like crapping on people's projects. I know it's a lot of fun for some people, but for me it feels malicious. But I don't know why this is a 2-parter. I don't know why you made the game so short. There's a lot going on here that could have easily been transformed into something more meaningful, but the whole thing just feels rushed to get out as soon as possible, which maybe it was, but regardless, there's a lot of potential here for a really good horror game. It's just, it feels like no effort was made into trying to actually make one. I mean,
A little bit.
there's only one jump scare, and that's being caught by the stabby
Kid.
guy.
Yeah.
And here, that's it? You're gonna have a single shaking JPEG of a face you clearly used MS Paint on top of. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like he could have tried a lot harder with this. Hell, maybe those low poly models aren't even something he made, now that I think about it. They might just be like free store assets he grabbed and well repurposed.
Maybe.
But I guess overall this could have been a much better game. It could have been a much better game. There needs to be more meat to it and more care.
Yeah.
I hate saying this because it sounds like an a-hole thing to say, like, oh, you didn't care about the game you made, and clearly there's enough care put into make an actual full game here, but there was just not a lot of quality control. But then again, I don't know how many people worked on this. If it was only one person, then okay, understandable, you can't do that much, but still, I would have made the game last at least a little bit longer as is, because why else would you make a two-parter when the first part... the first part is honestly so pointless, I don't know why it exists.
Build tension?
I mean, the only part that built tension was the sky getting darker and then seeing that, guy in the corner and being able to answer his question, which I don't think it matters what answer you gave me. He probably would have just stared at you with red eyes anyway. And then, well, the actual game, the actual thing you play is the second part, which, again, it's not awful. I mean, it's pretty much a Slender clone where, you avoid scary things, grab things like Pac-Man, but the guy is not threatening because he's just a little too much slower than you. If you want to have like a constantly chasing threat, but you want them to be slow enough to escape from, then you're either going to have to include other threats, or you gotta make them so slightly slower than you that it's very hard to shake them off, because it was so easy to get so far ahead of that guy that you literally had to teleport him ahead of me for me to even think about where he was. And you only did it once, so once I saw him teleport, it's like, okay, I'll just go around him, because he can't catch me unless I stand still or run into him.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
I don't know, I've ranted way too long on this game, mostly just to make the video time, because I can't put out a video that's only 6 minutes long.
Fair.
I mean, most people are gonna be like, oh, you spent like 8 minutes ranting on like a 2-minute game, and it's like, yeah, I gotta make this content somehow. I don't have any other games lined up for tonight, man. I didn't expect this one to be so short. I mean, when you get a game and it comes out in 2 parts, you'd think it'd be longer than 5 minutes. I mean, there's a good reason why Final Fantasy, what was it, 7?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII came out in 2 discs. Why? Because that game was massive! It was so big, they couldn't fit the whole game onto 1 disc because, well, it's the PlayStation 1, the disc capacity is a little low. But still, they made 2 discs to make the whole game. Because it was actually a massive game.
They did the same thing with Dead Space 2.
What?
They did the same thing with Dead Space 2.
What are you talking about?
Dead Space 2 had two discs.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
What are you talking about?
Dead Space 2.
Max, I have played Dead Space 2. There is no second disc.
There is a second disc.
No, there's not. And it's a PS3 game.
There was 2 for Xbox 360.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't know that because, PlayStation kid. Didn't know the Xbox was so weak.
Okay, whenever I come down there, I'll show you it.
What, you have an Xbox?
I have a 360, yeah.
Ah, neat. Anyway, we've blathered long enough to make the video runtime. Max, what is your daily wisdom?
Don't trust a weird kid that's just in the middle of the playground during the night.
My wisdom is don't make a 2-parter when you can easily fit into one thing.
Or that.
Because there really isn't any point why these 2 files are separate. You didn't need to do that. It's not even like the files themselves are that big. It's just they're just separate for no reason. Kind of makes me think of can't remember what it was, like Yu-Gi-Oh something, but it came out in this massive PlayStation 1 disc case. But clearly, it's built to hold 2 discs, but it only ever held 1. I guess it was just to make it
Weird.
more fancy looking? I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, this has been Red Luster, signing out.
Bye-bye.